Aside from physically correct volumetric effects, the fake pseudo-volumetric effects could be used, like a fake steam. It could be either the animated sequence of frames or just a static frame. While I'm not convinced that it is a must-have in this scene, I think we can look at it anyway, as sometimes it can be a cheap alternative to real 3D volumes. I have created a new layer for it, and now I'm going to make use of the narrow steam column.mov animation kindly provided by Ian Hubert. Thanks so much, Ian. So it is a sequence of black and white frames with a color ramp to control the contrast, plugged into the mix of transparent and translucent shaders. Then we have the texture itself controlling the opacity of the effect, and as we have mentioned, the color ramp, which is used to fine-tune the contrast. Okay, so what we need to do is copy it out to our main scene. So I'm pressing Ctrl+C, copy object. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say that it's just a 2D plane, nothing more. Then going back to our main one, Ctrl+V. Now it can be placed where we want an additional column of steam to be. And to see it better, the layer with the volumetric haze can temporarily be hidden. Okay, so where do we want it to be? Probably somewhere out of focus in the lower part of the shot like that. It can be made more or less dense in its appearance via the color ramp that we mentioned. But as usual, the safest bet is to avoid making it too distracting. It should be almost invisible. Just a touch of some volumetric effect going on. Now let's have a look at it in tandem with the haze. Before and after. Still not convinced, as it kills too much contrast, probably. It is up to you to leave it or to trash it. I'll let it hang on for a while until I make my mind. The technique itself is pretty useful though. I was fascinated by it when making our first video course ever. Do you remember it? Realistic lighting. Now, opening that old blend file in the current versions of Blender some 5 years later, I can still feel that magic. That obviously has its own limitations, but anyway. It is still fun. I have a soft spot for such hacks, especially within the ray tracing engines. There is something very nerdy about it. If you would want to check that blend file, by the way, it should be located in the project files. This cool little snippet. Deeply nostalgic for me. Rays of appreciation for these Blender heads who supported me when we just started our creative shrimp thing. Woo! Okay, sorry, I got a bit off topic. Let's get back on track, my friends. We have some more lighting work ahead of us.